Welcome to WHSH TV. I'm Cannon Shake, and with me is Brooks Robinson. Thanks for joining us for another edition of WHSH News. Coming up today, we will learn about a new program at Washington High School that kicks off next week in collaboration with Davies Community Hospital. We will also talk about Heart Health Month and the signs to watch for if you have heart issues.
In sports, the sectional has been drawn, and IU fell to the rival Purdue in the Big Ten basketball. Plus, we will discuss the movie highlights of the Bar Eve basketball team's 2015 state championship, which will be in theaters this weekend.
All that and much more. It's February 22nd, and you're watching WHSH TV. Washington High School will be unveiling a new workplace simulation project study program in cooperation with Davies Community Hospital. The program will officially kick off next Wednesday. We spoke to Dave Harmon, one of the instructors who will be teaching the program, to get more information about what this means for students interested in the medical field.
Okay, the biomed program is something that's project-based. It's a project lead the way, and the kids with this particular one, Principles Biomedical Science, is throughout the year, they try to find and figure out the death of Anna Garcia. So we study heart disease, sickle cell disease, diabetes, infectious diseases, and throughout the year, they have a crime scene, and then they try to figure out how this particular person, why she died and how she died. And so throughout the year they study those subjects, and by the end of the year they will give me a final autopsy on their prediction of how Anna Garcia died. So with infectious diseases, when we start that unit, we are currently going to have a project, a simulated workplace with Indiana University and the hospital. And it's going to be an 8-week project, and we're going to be studying about, including they're going to be added with the IU program, STEM program, and we're going to be conducting a simulated process about infectious disease that infects the town. And so the IU instructor is going to come in and lead the process. We're going to have a big kickoff on February the 27th at the hospital, and when we're all said and done with the study of the infectious disease, the students are actually supposed to present to the hospital a plan in effect in case, let's say, infectious disease hits Washington, and they're supposed to come up with flyers and information how to prevent or how to get the information out to the city of Washington. So it's a simulated workplace project, and that's partly one of the units of infectious disease in this Principles Biomedical Science class.
The program will be 8 weeks long and will include around 40 students from algebra and the Project Lead the Way biomed classes at WHS. Heart Health Month at the Community Hospital. Heart Health Month at Davies Community Hospital, pulmonary and cardiac rehab nurse Connie Wilson sat down with us to discuss ways to keep your heart healthy and signs to watch for if you may be experiencing heart issues.
My name is Connie Wilson, and I am a registered nurse and the cardiac and pulmonary rehab nurse at the Davies Community Hospital. This is February, and that makes it Heart Month. So we wanted to just bring a little bit of awareness to what I do with cardiac rehab, and why we want to bring awareness to heart disease and the things that people can do to actually decrease their risk of having future events. So with cardiac rehab, it's a program where patients come into the program after they've had either a heart attack, bypass surgery, or some sort of event of that nature. They come in, it's basically an exercise program. We're monitoring them, we have them on watching their blood pressures and things like that. But we also incorporate lifestyle education, because with heart disease, it really is a matter of lifestyle choices. So we try to encourage our patients to add that regular exercise in, which is recommended that you get 30 minutes of exercise pretty much every day of the week so that you're accumulating between 150 and 210 minutes of what we call moderate intensity exercise, which would be exercise that makes you feel like you're working, but not so much that you feel like you're killing yourself. So that's where we want our patients to be, and then they will gradually be able to improve their physical function by adding that exercise in. We also work with them on their dietary choices. So, we do a lot of nutrition education because what you eat is very, very important as far as your health habits. So, we encourage them to eat real food. So I always tell people I preach it, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and lean protein should be the primary course of your dietary habits. And then if you have a few moderate indiscretions every once in a while, those are probably not going to make a big impact. But food is meant to nourish our bodies, so we need to make sure that we're taking in the right things. Heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans still in the United States, so we still have not got this under control. We're much better at treating the disease, but and people live longer with it, but people are having multiple events. So, if I see somebody for their first event, I may see them in 2 or 3 years if they don't really embrace that lifestyle choices. And sometimes even when they do, they still will have further problems. So it's important that we get the word out that people need to take a better proactive approach as far as making good health choices. Managing your stress, getting the exercise, making sure you're getting adequate sleep. Just make sure that you start taking care of your health, because I always tell people that health doesn't happen by accident. We have to do things on purpose. If you're a smoker, it would be important that you stop smoking, because again, we know that is a #1 contributor to accelerating that heart disease. So it's not in itself the problem, but it does definitely accelerate the process of heart disease. So we encourage people in February to really take a good hard look at what they can do to improve their heart health, and talk with your doctor. Go in, get a good checkup, find out where your numbers are at, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and see if there's anything that you need to start working on. Thanks for listening, and I hope you guys have a great Heart Month.
Thanks for those tips, and thanks for your time with us this week. The heart is the most important organ in the body that keeps everything ticking. Please take time during Heart Health Month to study your eating habits and exercise to keep your heart healthy. A new movie is hitting theaters this weekend, highlighting a local team's accomplishments in their 2015 state championship run. Kings of Indiana is showing in select theaters beginning tonight, and director Craig Lunsford from Nashville says a lot of time and effort has been put forth leading up to the big release tonight.
The way this all happened, the way Kings of Indiana happened originally was Mark Whitmer had the idea that the Bar Reeve Vikings might be a great team to do a story about, because they had just lost the championship by a few points in overtime, had the same team coming back minus one player. It was a big player, Micah Bullock, who was a big scorer for them. But aside from Micah, they had the same team coming back, and he thought, man, this might really, be something that would make a good story. He knew a few guys in the industry enough to reach out and throw the idea out there, and so I ended up kind of becoming involved, through these people, and kind of picked up on it and took it and ran with it. Kings of Indiana is a documentary film following particularly the Bar Reeve Vikings, but highlighting not only Southern Indiana basketball, but Indiana basketball altogether, talking about the history of the sport in the state, why it grew the way it did in the state, but it's told through, following the Bar Reeve Vikings, but also delves into their heritage and their history, and Daviess County and the Amish Mennonite settlement that they have there, and what it's like for, small schools. We delve a little bit even into the the consolidation aspect and the closing of small schools, which is, I think is kind of a travesty. But we talk about all that, and it's done by following Bar Reeve through the course of a season, and seeing how far they can go, and if they can be named Kings of Indiana. We've had 1 year. This past year was spent talking to a few different distributors and mulling over some possible deals with distributors. We saw some unfavorable deals, so we decided we're going to put this out on our own in theaters and everything. But the 4 years, right after filming, we had a crew standing by ready to start post-production on the film but we had some legal issues that flared up and had to be taken care of. So that slows everything down. And then, you know, the crew that we had standing by have other projects that they've scheduled to work on. So, you know, it slowed us down a little bit. That's kind of why it's taken this long, but we're here. We're here. Like I said, it's all in your hands, or their hands, or the public's hands. But it's, you know, we're going to run it up the flagpole and see if people like it. If enough people like it and word spreads and it catches fire, then who knows where it goes and how far it goes and how long it sticks around. So, and from there, you know, like I said, we might end up either on, you know, Blu-rays, DVDs, and streaming and broadcast. We just have to see where it goes from there. But the feedback we get, the turnout we get will go a long way into determining that. The movie's it's a limited theatrical run. We're in multiple markets around the state, primarily sticking to the Indianapolis area and further south. Tickets can be gotten at our website, kingsofindiana.com, through eventbrite.com, but you can find all the tickets through our website. Just click on the buttons, it'll take you right where you need to go, and it's got a listing of all the theaters where, you know, Kokomo, Marion, Columbus, Richmond, Terre Haute, Linton, Washington.
The first showing at the Indiana Theater on Main Street will start at 4 p.m. this afternoon. They will also show the movie tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Tickets are available online at thekingsofindiana.com. A local chapter of the National Wild Turkey Federation is conducting their annual fundraiser tomorrow in Montgomery. The White River Longbeards chapter of NWTF will host their third annual Hunting Heritage Banquet on Saturday at the Montgomery Riverton Park Community Building. Club member Mike Chestnut describes a little about the group and tomorrow night's event.
Hi, I'm Michael Chestnut. I'm current president of the local NWTF chapter, the White River Longbeards. It is with the NWTF, that stands for National Wild Turkey Federation. We are in our third year of existence, and we're coming up this coming Saturday, February the 23rd, is our banquet that'll be held at the Montgomery Riverton building. Doors open at 4 o'clock, dinner will be at 6:30, then we have a live auction and giveaways. We started this, there was some of us local hunters and outdoorsmen that started the chapter back up 3 years ago, and it's grown. We've been very, very pleased with the response and participation of all our members. So if you all can come out, that would be wonderful. You can buy tickets at the door, or you can get them online also. We do have a website on Facebook, NWTF White River Longbeards. Okay, that plaque that's on our wall there, that was given to us back in 2017. It's a National Wild Turkey Federation Indiana State Best New Event, and we got that, which was a shock to us. We didn't know that we were going to get that. These other pictures, like we got a print here, this was done at Patoka Valley Limb Hangers down there. You can attend other banquets and have a chance as a visitor to go ahead and get these. The etched mirror was from Vincennes Universities, and then the print that's in my office was up at the Clay City / Terre Haute chapter. And then my prize and joy there is my turkey that I got this past spring on opening day. Went into woods at 6, at 7:20. I'm carrying out my turkey.
Doors will open at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and the dinner starts at 6:30 p.m. Lots of prizes and merchandise will be available. Coming up after this break, we'll have a quick look at your forecast, and we'll have details on the upcoming North Elementary School Trivia Challenge tomorrow. You are watching WHSH TV.
You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move! Give it to him hard! No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how? Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Hi, I'm Brooks Robinson on WHSH. Let's take a look at your weekend forecast. Today, you got mostly cloudy, high around 49. Tonight, have a chance of storms moving in with a low around 43. Now let's take a look at your weekend forecast. Saturday, 90% chance of rain all day. It's going to be horrible if you have plans for this weekend. You have a high of 61, which is really warm, and a low of 42, which is going to be a little cooler. And Sunday, the rain moves out, and it's going to be mostly sunny, but a little cooler, high at 45, and with a low around 24. And that is your weekend forecast. And we'll be right back after this on WHSH.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back. North Elementary School is once again hosting the annual Trivia Night tomorrow at the school. Teams of kindergarten to 6th graders and 7th graders to adults will be participating for cash prizes. We spoke to some of the organizers to get the scoop on tomorrow's event.
Trivia Night is a fundraiser for North Elementary that we've been doing for 5 years now, and it is the biggest fundraiser that we have for North Elementary. The proceeds go toward technology and STEM-related materials. Trivia Night is just what the name says. It's a night where you get together with a team and you answer trivia questions. So if you love mindless trivia that is random, then this is the night for you.
We are scoring the youth answers. Mrs. Tabor and I both are. Mrs. Wadsworth, are you scoring with us?
I am either scoring or doing the computer, one or the other. So we have two divisions. We have an adult division and then we have an elementary division. The categories for the adult division are American history, toys and games, current events, 80s rock music, literature, famous names, science and nature, countries, sports, and art and leisure. For the elementary kids, their categories are science, history, sports, art and leisure, geography, and entertainment.
The top 3 teams win prizes in the competition. They also do a 50-50 drawing and a silent auction, which are all things that have been donated to us. So they're pretty good prizes. You pay $5 to get in, and we have food.
Lots of
delicious food. and you can watch the competition from the bleachers.
Proceeds go toward technology, computer programs, and Chromebooks, and then STEM-related activities. It is this Saturday, February 23rd, in the North Elementary Gym.
Doors open at 4:30 p.m. for teams and 5 p.m. for spectators. Admission for spectators to watch will be $5 and food and drinks will be available. This week on our TV movie review, Clint Ivey will discuss the second season of The Punisher.
Hi, I am Clint Ivey from WHSH Broadcasting, and today we're going to be reviewing the new and final season of Marvel's The Punisher. The Punisher only lasted 2 seasons on Netflix, so I know what you must be thinking. It must be a bad show. But no, the reason it's getting canceled is because the other shows in the Marvel Netflix series just weren't getting enough viewers. The shows that were lacking in viewers were shows such as Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. The Punisher Season 2 kicked off with one of the best episodes out of any show I've ever watched. Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, who was played by Jon Bernthal, who is also famous for playing Shane on The Walking Dead. Frank develops 2 new relationships this season. Frank begins to fall in love with a lady he met at a bar named Beth. She was getting pushed around by a drunk guy at the bar when Frank came in and saved her. The other relationship we see is between Frank and this teenager named Amy. She was getting chased by some bad people, and Frank, out of being nice, just decided to help. Frank messes with the wrong people and he gains a new enemy. Meanwhile, Frank's enemy from last season, whose name is Ben Barnes, slowly begins to gain his memory back after the beating he took from the Punisher. After a while, he remembers who he is and eventually turns to a life of crime. Barnes starts wearing a mask and becomes a villain from the Punisher comics called Jigsaw. Now Frank has 2 big enemies, and now he has a big question on his mind. What is Frank going to do to protect the ones he cares about? If you want to know, check out The Punisher right now on Netflix. If I had to rate this season, I would give it a 10 out of 10 Franks. But thanks for watching. I'm Clint Ivey, and this has been your weekly episode review.
The Punisher final season is now on Netflix. As the boys basketball sectionals draw near, we spoke to a couple senior members of this year's team for a preview of the tournament back at the Hatchet House this year.
I think some of the biggest keys are just playing together like we have been, playing defense, scoring the ball. Everybody has to contribute in a big way for us to win it, because we're going to be playing a tough team either way. It's either going to be, I think it's either going to be Southridge or Princeton.
Yeah, I feel like a big key for us is just taking each game as if it was to compete for the championship. You know, we can't take any games lightly. You know, I know we beat Pike Central pretty bad during the season, but you know, we have a strong sectional, so I think we have to take each game as if it was our last and just kind of focus on what we need to do to hopefully prepare for the next team. So
I think some of the biggest keys are just playing together like we have been, playing defense, scoring the ball. Everybody has to contribute in a big way for us to win it, because we're going to be playing a tough team either way. It's either going to be, I think it's either going to be Southridge or Princeton.
Yeah, I feel like a big key for us is just taking each game as if it was to compete for the championship. You know, we can't take any games lightly. You know, I know we beat Pike Central pretty bad during the season, but you know, we have a strong sectional, so I think we have to take each game as if it was our last and just kind of focus on what we need to do to hopefully prepare for the next team. So
it would mean a lot to me being here, playing varsity for 3 years, and not making it to that final game or winning the championship. And being the first team to do it since the Zellers would be a great accomplishment. And I think we have the team this year to do it. We just got to play together.
Winning the sectional would mean everything. You know, being a senior and being able to go out on top for our area at least would mean a whole lot. I know Tyson mentioned the first team to do it since the Zellers. That would be huge, especially, you know, growing up and watching them and all the success they had, and just getting a taste or a sliver of what they accomplished would mean a lot. So
the Hatchets opened the sectional Tuesday night in Game 1 against Pike Central. With the tournament back at the Hatchet House, sectional ticket sales started this week in the athletic office. Stephanie Garland gave us the ticket info.
I'm Stephanie Garland, the secretary in the high school athletic office, and we will begin ticket sales on Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. You can buy them here in the athletic office. We will only sell season tickets and that will be $10. Session tickets will be sold at the door for $6. So you can buy those Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Monday before sectional begins on Tuesday.
Pre-sale tickets will be season passes for all games only for $10. Daily game tickets will be sold at the door for $6. Coming up after the break, we will have a more detailed look at the latest in sports this week with Brooks Robinson. You're watching WHSH TV.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
The Washington Hatchet boys will wrap up the regular season tonight on senior night. The Hatchet House, 3 senior players will be honored: Tyson Wright, Hunter Killian, Bryce Browning, with honored as well manager Austin Lowe. The Hatchets will face Evansville Memorial. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. The boys basketball sectional pairings were released this weekend by the IHSAA 3A tournament. We will return to the Hatch House this year with fierce competition. In Game 1, Washington will play Pike Central. Game 2 will have Southridge playing Sullivan. In the semifinals Friday, Vincennes Lincoln will play the winner of Washington and Pike Central. Princeton will await the winner of Southridge and Sullivan. The championship game will be next Saturday night at 7 p.m. Good luck to the Hatchets in the postseason. Vincennes Reveille Lady Patriots are playing in Class A Girls Basketball State Championship. Tomorrow, Reveille is unbeaten at 29-0 and will face Marquette Catholic, who is 25-2 for the state title. Tip-off tomorrow set for 10:30 a.m. Mount Harms tipped in a basket with 3 seconds left to have the 15th-ranked Boilermakers beat IU at Assembly Hall. This is the 3rd straight win for the Boilermakers on the IU's home floor. The big game this week was Duke facing arch rival number 8, North Carolina, in Durham. The Blue Devils lost Zion Williams, their star player, whenever his Nike shoe blew out in the first minute of the first half. The Tar Heels win 88-72 for the victory. In baseball, Manny Machado signed a 10-year contract with the San Diego Padres for $300 million, and he will get $61,728 per hour for playing baseball, and that's not bad. That is wrap up this week's sports. Reporting from WHSH TV, I'm Brooks Robinson. We will be back right after this.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
back to WHSH TV. Let's have a look at your extended weather forecast. Over here in the west with California, it's mostly clear, and maybe a little bit of rain up north toward Washington, Seattle, around that area. And in the Midwest, you have some snow up around the Dakotas and Colorado, and around through there. Down around in our region here in Indiana, we're going to have some storm systems moving in tonight, and it's going to be raining all Saturday. Have some very nasty weather. And in the New England states, it's mostly clear. Now let's have a look at next week. Sunny most of the week with chance of showers on Friday with a high of 49 and a low of 29. Now let's have a look at more detailed into this week. Today, cloudy with a high of 49. The rain moves in tonight with the low around 43 degrees. Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain and a high of 61 and a low of 42. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 45 and a low of 24. And that is your week, and that is your weather for this week.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
As we wrap up today's show, we first wanted to go back to the hallways and find out what is on students' minds this week on the Hallway Beat. It's go time. Jaron, if you were the king of the world, what would be the first thing you would do?
Well, to be honest with you, Cannon, the truck's getting a little rusty and just old looking, so I think I'd buy a new, probably platinum with that. That'd be a good time. Yeah, for sure.
Mr. Spillman, if you were the king of the world, what would be the first thing you would do?
Well, I think it's important for kids to get an education, so I think I'd find some way to at least give a free education through the first 4 years of college.
That is a great answer. Thank you. Mr. Stahl, if you were the king of the world, what would be the first thing you would do?
I would increase teacher pay tremendously.
If you were the king of the world,
yes,
what would be the first thing you would do?
You know, I'd probably get like a Lambo.
Anything else?
What? Nah, probably nothing else.
Just a Lamborghini?
Only thing I do.
All right. Gretchen, if you were the queen of the world, what would be the first thing you would do?
Make myself Deca State president.
What would you do if you were the queen of the world?
I would make Mr. Council president.
If you were the king of the world, what would you do?
Probably start off by, I don't know, man.
If you were the queen of the world, what would be the first thing you would do?
I'd make gas 10 cents a gallon.
Wow. What would be the first thing you would do if you were the queen of the world?
I will put my face on Mount Rushmore.
So Brooks, what would you do if you were the king of the world for one day?
If I was king of the world for one day, I'd probably take a nice trip to Hawaii in the nicest private jet you could possibly buy. What about you, Cam? What would you like to do?
I'd probably wish for a lot of money and get some new cars, maybe a house for myself, something like that.
Oh, gotta have a nice house.
On behalf of our entire team here at WHSH on the campus of Washington High School, we would like to thank everybody for watching. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week here on WHSH TV.